Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here in the garden level of the Holman House, producing today. And we're very happy to run down to Ann Arbor right now and spend a little time with Alissa Roath. She's the Executive Director of the National Advanced Mobility Consortium. And Alissa, first of all, welcome to the show. But secondly, so tell us a little bit about your association.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. So the National Advanced Mobility Consortium started in 2008 as a robotics-focused technology consortium. We have a unique agreement with the government called an Other Transaction Agreement, which exists to bring non-traditional and innovative technologies to the government. So people that normally wouldn't work with the government due to the red tape and issues like that. So we have grown. We became the National Advanced Mobility Consortium in 2014, and our members do research and development for the government, primarily the DoD, in the ground vehicle and robotics technology areas. So we have, like I said, over 500 members, both from large defense companies to the small mom and pops down the street that all bid on requirements that the government choose to solicit through our consortium. And then NAMC helps with teaming and administering those contract vehicles to make it a bit easier on everybody to get their technologies to the warfighter.
So I'm trying to draw somewhat of an analogy. Would you be like a private PTech?
So similar, but very contracts focused. So we actually collaborate very much with the PTechs. They do a lot of the training. Ours is a specific agreement focused, and the agreement focuses on prototyping. So the fast fail, innovative technologies, let's see if these will work and if we can get them to the warfighter and field them, eventually make them programs of record. So we do some of the training around working with the government. We do try to position our members to eventually get larger procurement contracts with the government, but the PTechs have a very special place in our heart and do something that nobody else really does, but we collaborate with them closely.
You know, and I might say PTech is for what the acronym stands for, because we always throw acronyms around assuming
we do. Yes, feel free to stop me when I'm throwing acronyms, but the PTech is the Procurement Technical Assistance Center.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and Michigan has a great one. Yeah.
They do. And you are in the hotbed probably of technology advancement, tech transfer, number of patents coming out. Ann Arbor is among the leaders in the country every year. So not a bad spot for you to be.
No, not a bad spot at all. And while we are located in Ann Arbor, we are a national organization, but our largest customer, our contract with the government is with the Ground Vehicle System Center, or GVSC, down in Warren. So those are our primary customers. They do the mobility.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
All right, so you just recently had a competition.
Let's
talk about that.
We did. So NAMC is always looking for ways to highlight our members and also serve our warfighter. And so we work very closely with both our government customers and our members. And we took it upon ourselves to fund a mission-driven innovation study. And so that is a commercial methodology that we're applying to a defense challenge that creates a heat map for some of the challenges that our forces are facing. Coming off of that, we realized we had this heat map of all of these issues that Smart Motor Pool managers specifically in the Army were facing. And we went out to the defense industrial base and our members and said, how can you solve these? What have you been working on with your own research and development monies that could solve some of these issues? So we held a pitch competition where NAMC put up $100,000 in prize money. We had 36 entries that got down selected to 6 finalists. And the down select team was actual end users. So we had chief warrant officers from the ordnance school that actually looked at these technologies and thought if they would be applicable or not.
So this is an interesting process. You let them know of the problem and gave them time to work on solving the problem, and then had them compete for the $100,000.
Absolutely. So we released a full report, not just to our membership, but to the defense industrial base as a whole, and said, how can you help solve these problems?
Well, that's a tremendous way to do it because you're actually focused on the stuff. It's not the general way that those competitions go.
It's
But
not.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a good way to do it. So you had a couple successful winners, right?
We did. So we had 6 that ended up pitching at a large defense event here in Michigan called GV Sets that was happening in August. And so they pitched to the audience, the attendees of that conference, as well as the panel of chief warrant officers and non-commissioned officers who made a decision right there on the spot. And it was announced the next day. So we had the 6 finalists each received $10,000. And then the 3 top winners was Raytheon Defense was the top, MCM Learning, which is a small Michigan non-business, and then BAE Systems.
Well, great stuff. And we'll see what comes out of that, right? So now you see the contract through and maybe product and solution comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely gave them some visibility with the government, and they're already talking to each other about whether they can join forces and create an even better solution for the government.
Well, Alissa Roath, Executive Director of the National Advanced Mobility Consortium in Ann Arbor. Thanks for taking time to join us, and thanks for the good work you're doing, because this brings solutions out there with a little bit of motivation to supply them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We'll be right back. You've been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.